Okay, I'm going to go through the step-by-step instructions for filling out the September 20 forms. Before I can fill out this form, I need to collect some information. So the first thing I need is the school info sheet, um, and in it I'll need the information about the administration, the bell schedule, the EL staff schedule, the endorsed teacher schedule, and the paraprofessional schedule. So all of that should be on your school info sheet. In elementary schools, they need a master schedule in addition to the bell schedule. The other thing I'll need is a roster. So I'll find that in my file from the data clerk, for my school's file from the data clerk. And so here are my students, my ninth grade students. There's 3 of them. One of the first things you want to do is make sure you have that you freeze one row so you can move up and down without losing this. The other thing that I do for this one is I make sure I sort it from by last name, Z to A, so that when I'm building the sheets, it's a little easier for me. All right. The other thing I'll need is student schedules. Now on here, the student schedules can be found in Tyler Sys. For what I'm doing today, this was taken from Tyler Sys and I modified a little bit. This is what it'll look like. So that I know what the student has each period, so I can figure out what minutes they're being served. So I have my school info sheet, I have the roster, and I have the student schedule from Tyler Sits. And now I'm ready to fill out the form. So in the form, there's the master template. And so the first thing I do is I duplicate it. That'll put another one down here. Then I put the student's name in, and our first student is Taylor Swift. So down here, I'll write I'll rename this to T. Swift, and then even let you know that she's in ninth grade. And then I'll come back up here, and these are the people. So let's see who she has in her schedule. So I'm looking through this, and I'm looking at the school info sheet. So automatically I know she has Donald Duck's 7th period. So I'll click Donald Duck here. And let's see if there's anybody else in her schedule. So I'm looking through it. Now there's no other ESL classes, and I don't recognize there's no more Donald Duck here. But I'll need to come back to my info sheet, and I notice here that Daisy is helping in Jarvis's class. She's pushing in there. So that means this hour is para supported. So I need to put a mix here that the paraeducator is supporting it. Taylor doesn't have Mickey Mouse as a teacher. Okay, so then the next thing I need to look at is she has first period with Jarvis with the paraeducator. So I'll come in here, and first hour, we're going to write para. If Mr. Jarvis was, just P, it's down here. Mr. Jarvis was endorsed, I could put cat. So then I'm going to find all the first hours and paste that in there. Good. So I know first hour is covered, and then looking at the schedule, 7th hour. So we'll go down here to 7th hour, and this is with their EL teacher, so we put EL here. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to look for all the 7th hours. So now I have the student schedule, and I've figured out. So first hour and 7th hour. So I need to get rid of all the minutes for the other hours. So what I like, you can click on here and push delete and just delete these. That's one way to do it. You can also hold Control and click on the boxes. And then push delete, and it'll get rid of all of them. Let's see, just make sure that the P has minutes, the EL has minutes. Let's scroll down a little lower. Let me get rid of this one also. And now you'll see that the minutes have been updated down here in the bottom. And so we have our weekly minutes and our totally daily minutes. Oh, the other thing we need to do is put the name and first name, last names, and PIF in here. So we'll do that off of the roster. So I just paste the values. Now the roster unfortunately has both names together, rather than a line for first names and a line for last names. But if you I always paste just the values. I can go in here and cut Taylor off and put it down here. Whoop. Let's try this again. Cut. There we go. Whoop. Oh yeah. You can't really see it there, but that says Swift. So now I got the name, Taylor Swift, and then the grade was grade 9. So Taylor's is done. Then I'll come back up. Then I'll come back over here and do this again. I'll duplicate. I'll come back to the roster. The next one I have is Patrick Mahomes. So down here it'll be P.Mahomes. And I'm going to fill in this part. So let's go ahead and grab his info. And oops, the nice thing is and what was his PIF? I'm doing wrong here. There we go, values only. And again, grade 9. And then I didn't pull up Patrick's schedule yet. I'd go into Tyler's Assist and pull it up, and I'd do that same thing. I'd figure out what hours he's getting services, and then delete the ones where he's not, and that'll update the minutes down here. So that's what we have right now. If you have any questions, please get back to me. You can email me at rlobengar@tps501.org, or my extension is 3952. Thank you.